Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday, the first day of October. Believe that, 2024. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your family's safe and healthy, and I hope the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today, especially with those thousands of people, millions of people without power. Thousands have lost their homes in Helene. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are out here even risking their lives to save people's lives. Blessings upon those that pick up garbage to keep our places clean and cleaning up. Blessings also upon those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help, rescue, deliver, and recover. Teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of pornography, child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators of these things. Double curses on those who profit from these things. And double curses on all the perverts that create the great demand for this multi-billion-dollar industry. Blessings upon the homeless, which now have been increased as a result of Hurricane Helene. Blessings upon the homeless, more than 600,000 men, women, families, veterans, senior citizens in the streets of the United States of America, and more, millions more around the world. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Today, I want to discuss Landry Shamet. Now, this is the situation, and this is typical, which most people don't understand or don't want to, but situations can quickly change in the NBA. An example of this is the recent trade for Cat. Example. If Hartenstein had re-signed with the Knicks and Mitchell Robinson was healthy, we would not have Cat. See? And so that combination plus the addition of Donte Divencenzo, as a matter of fact, it appears to me that the Minnesota Timberwolves wanted Donte Divencenzo as much as they wanted Julius Randle, if not more than they wanted Julius Randle. They wanted Donte Divencenzo. And there's a reason for that. Like I said, I feel like Donte is an up-and-coming player that could become an all-star. That's how good I feel he is. And that's what he showed last year, both in clutch, both in defense, and of course, shooting the basketball offensively, and his athleticism and finishing at the rim. He has all that. And so I feel like he can become an all-star. And that's how good Donte is. But that's what changed all of those things. The emergence of Donte Divencenzo. First, the signing. When I did the video 16 months ago about the Knicks reaching out to talk to Minnesota, the Knicks did not have Donte Divencenzo at that time. And then, so for that, mostly for that, the trade that I was told the Knicks, that I was suggesting that the Knicks reach out to Minnesota and make, was not going to happen. There was a lot of salary coming back to New York, and we did not have Donte. It wasn't really the right time. But then they signed that July of 2023. They signed Donte Divencenzo. Then Donte Divencenzo was coming off the bench behind Q-Dog. Then Donte Divencenzo wins the starting job. Then because of the injuries last year, he plays heavy minutes and balls out. And then we all see the potential of Donte Divencenzo. And so that changed everything. And then, of course, Hartenstein balls out, and he goes to Oklahoma City for $87 million. And then Donte is now balling out. And now Mitchell Robinson cannot start the season. The combination of these things changed the situation for Cat. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. Okay? So all the people claiming that they knew what was going to happen, they don't know. Because that all had to conspire together along with Julius Randle's contract situation. All of those dynamics had to conspire together to bring Cat here. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been here. Okay? And all of that had not happened until now. Okay? So the situation with Landry Shamet. So Landry Shamet Yeah, I know some of y'all look at highlights and get hyped. I look at highlights and I see both the highlights and the lowlights. So with Landry Shamet is a stereotypical spot up shooter. For his career, he's a 38% 3-point shooter. For his career, he's a 41% field goal percentage shooter. So he's not really like close to that 50% from the field. And of course, because he's a really good shooter, he's 84% from the foul line. So his career is about 9 points a game, 84% from the line, 38% from three, 41% from the field. Last year, his 3-point percentage dipped. I don't know why, but it was uncharacteristic. It was about 34% last year, whereas most of his career, like 42, 40, 45, 38, 39, 37, 38, that's generally where he is from three-pointer. So he's perfect as a shooter, spot-up shooter coming off your bench. He generally plays his career, his minutes per game is 22. He's not going to get that with the Knicks, but that's his career. So he, about 2 weeks ago, would have probably been cut because at 2 weeks ago, you're starting Jericho Sims. You have Precious Achua behind him. And you have a whole bunch of 6'4 guys, including Donte Divencenzo. So you wouldn't have needed another 6'4 guy. Therefore, we were talking about Mook at 6'8 and Bates Diop, Keita Bates Diop at 6'8, 6'9, because they would have needed that size. But now with the addition of a 7-footer and the trade that sends 6'4 Donte Divencenzo to Minnesota and Keita Bates Diop to Minnesota, now you need shooting. And hence, the whole situation with Larry Shamet changes. Okay, it changes. So, with that, now Larry Shamet becomes one of the favorites to not only make the roster, but possibly be in the rotation. Because now your rotation is your 4 guys. We know the starters, but your 4 guys are Jericho, Deuce, Precious, and either Payne probably or Landry Shamet. Now, I give Landry Shamet the edge because of his consistent shooting. Payne is more like a backup point guard, so he'll be behind Deuce. Which brings me to another point. We still got people talking about lack of ball handling. It's almost like this. I heard a story once where an old man and the young brother was on a boat. The old man's hat flew off into the water. The young brother dives into the water, gets the old man's hat and brings it back to him and gets back in the boat. And people criticized the young brother because they said he should have walked on water. And this is the situation. So the Knicks trade for Cat, and everybody's like, they got the best starting 5, but they have no depth. And then I got Eddie coming on my channel talking about we need ball handling. Deuce got to start. No, he doesn't. And I'm Deuce high. Deuce does not need to start. They have enough with the starting 5. The best starting 5 in the NBA on paper right now. And people say, well, we need Deuce to start. Number one, last year, if you recall, it wasn't that long ago. People was talking about there's no scoring on the bench. That was BS. Why was it BS? Because the bench was basically starting because there was no bench. Mitch Robb was hurt and Jericho got hurt. Therefore, the bench guy, Hartenstein, started. Because OG got hurt and Jew got hurt, the bench guy, Precious, ended up starting a lot of games. Okay? And Deuce McBride ended up starting more games and playing 48 minutes a game several times. Okay? So the bench unit was really on the starting unit. So you didn't really have a bench unit. And so everybody was ready to call out, we need to go make trades so we can get scoring in the second unit. No, you didn't really need that. And they brought in Bodega and they brought in Alec Burks. Alec Burks was irrelevant because of Deuce. And Bodega, he played all right. But then, he's off to, he was a journeyman and he's off now to the Nets. Okay, bye. So there's nothing wrong with the starting unit. They need no ball handling there. But that's an old narrative. And the whole bench scoring stuff, somebody said, well, they got a great starting five, but they have no depth. So now don't join into dissing your own players with these idiots on these big platforms claiming they know what they talking about when they don't. Deuce could ball, Precious could ball. If you a New York Knicks fan, you should know that. And Jericho Sims could ball. He just needs an opportunity. Let the people that don't know our team talk that foolishness. Don't buy into it, Knicks Nation. It's some garbage. We got depth. They could ball. We just need that fourth dude. And it's going to be between Cameron Payne and Landry Shamet. I'm thinking it's going to be Shamet because really Payne was just brought in for insurance, period. But Shamet is a legit spot-up shooter. That's what he does. Okay, he's a legit spot-up shooter. So now you bring him with Deuce off that bench. You got Precious, you got Jericho, who, as we saw and we talked about earlier, statistically, they play extremely well together. Very productive, those two, when they're on the court together. So you can give Cat a break. You could give Hart a break from the 4 spot. See, you're going to see with Josh Hart. And that's why somebody's saying, well, what position? Is he going to play the 2? Or Hart should play the 2 and OG should play the 4? Listen. There's two sides of the basketball. And the way the game is played right now, it changes. Like, for example, and I was telling one of the subscribers about it yesterday. Look, defensively, you will have OG guarding a 4. And if Cat is out, he might even guard a 5. That's Thibs said yesterday. We saw last year with Embiid. You can have Precious guarding 4s and 5s. Defensively. Offensively, Hart is going to play the 4. And Mikal Bridges is going to play the 2. Because you want Mikal Bridges to get more 3-point looks than you want Josh Hart to get more 3-point looks. And from the 4 spot on the offensive side of the basketball, Hart will be more in a position to do what he does best, attack the glass from the perimeter and get offensive rebounds. That's why it's not really he's going to strictly play the 4 or the 5 or whatever. On defense is one thing, and on offense is another. See? So offensively, Hart is going to play the 4. Defensively, he'll probably be guarding 2s. Okay? That's how it's going to work. It switches both ways. Okay? So it's not like they have one set position. It depends on the lineup, right? So that being the case, you want to have Hart. When Hart's in there, you're going to be shuffling him around. He's going to play a lot of minutes because Thibs loves this guy. And that's what I'm saying. Some of y'all need to stop getting, whining. Get over it. I'm not saying I favor him starting, but it is what it is. So he's going to start. Thibs loves this guy. So he's going to play. And then when OG comes out the game, Hart will stay on the court and shift. And here comes either Precious or Jericho. Okay? When Cat comes out the game, here comes Precious or Jericho, Hart stays on the floor. When Deuce comes in the game, Brunson will come out and Deuce will come in there. And then you might keep Deuce in there and move Mikal if you want to give Hart a blow because you can't play 48 every night. And then you have Deuce at the 2. You're going to have that constant switching. It's not going to be one set in cement thing. There's only a couple things that's in cement. OG, well, that's not even that. I was going to say OG at the 3, but that's not even that. But Brunson at the point guard is cement. He's a point guard, and he's going to play the point guard, and he's going to stay the point guard. Okay? Cat's going to play the 5. The Knicks brought him here to play the 5. They did not bring him here to play the 4. They brought him here to play the 5. That's why they brought him. So all you guys talking about he's going to be the 4, please. They brought Cat here for the purpose of being the center. All right. Now, I'm not saying he won't play any 4, but that's not going to be. It's like asking Julius. People thought Julius was going to start at the 5. So, Cat will play some 4, just like Julius might have played some 5, but that's not going to be his natural position. You're going to have Cat at the 5. You will have Jericho coming in for him at the 5, and you could have Precious playing 4 or 5. In fact, when Jericho and Precious are on the floor together, that's really an interchangeable situation. They both can play 4 and 5, and they'll guard 4 and 5. In fact, Precious can guard, and so can Jericho, 3 4s and 5s. Okay, if you ever watch Precious, that footwork that he has is developed under Thibs, man. He can actually guard 3 positions. And so you got Jericho, you got Precious, and they'll be interchangeable, and they'll come in for Cat and they'll come in for Hart, or when Hart's being switched around, they're really coming in for probably OG, because you can't play OG too many minutes without risking an injury, right? So you want to keep that under control a little bit. You can play McCall minutes, but OG, you got to be careful. So I'm thinking 30 minutes a game for OG is about the extent of it, right? And so you're going to have some guys coming in off the bench, which is where you get Jericho and Precious. So the Knicks do have depth, and their guys, especially the three I'm talking about, Jericho, Precious, and Deuce, are proven. See, that's what I'm saying. If you have never seen these guys ball, maybe you buy into some of these BS narratives. But many of y'all have watched them. Okay, some people are still thinking Deuce can't shoot, and he shot 40% from three last year. Some people don't understand that you need stops to win chips, and so you got to have defense out there more than offense. Defense first. Okay, so there's people that will watch the game and still buy into the narratives. But there's only one piece we need, and that piece we have is just who's going to win that spot, Cam or Shamet. That's where it comes down to. I favor Shamet because he's more of a consistent three-point shooter. Cam Payne can shoot from three, but he's streaky. He's streaky. He's more streaky than Shamet is a stereotypical three-point shooting dude, spot-up three-point shooting dude, and he's going to get that shot on the second unit. He's going to get that shot. Cameron Payne is a streaky dude. He's also clutch, but he's not a more consistent shooter than Landry Shamet. I keep wanting to say Larry, but Landry Shamet is. So I think Shamet will get that spot, but one of them is going to get it, and the other one's going to be the 10th guy. That's how it's going to work. One of them's going to get that spot, and the other one's going to be the 10th guy. And now between Jericho and Precious and Cat, you got the 5 spot handled. You got the 5 spot handle, and you really got the 5 and the 4 spot handle, okay, between them three. So we just need one more guy, and we got him. We just got to decide who it is, and that's why training camp is here. See, outside now of your top 8 that I named, the starting 5 with Jericho, Precious, and Deuce, you really, like I said, those other 2 guys are fighting for that 9th spot. It's not being handed to anybody. So Cameron Payne, nobody's going to hand it to him. And nobody, I don't care if he's a veteran, and nobody's handing nothing to Shamet either. So Shamet's got to make the team and then earn a spot in the rotation. And that's where this training camp, starting today, starting in South Carolina, that's where they're going to get the opportunity to battle for that spot. Okay, that's what we're dealing with right now. Okay, and people still talking about Tyler Kolek, please. And what it is I get it. People are fans. We're fans, right? All of us are fans of the Knicks, fans of basketball. So you might want to see your favorite guy get minutes. But we trying to win this championship, man. Y'all need to stop with this rookie garbage. Ain't no Hoop Party. Ain't no Tyler Kolek seeing no minutes this year, y'all. If Thibs has to go with 8, he'll do that. Y'all should know that. If he has 8 guys and he's got another, 7 guys at the end of the bench, he'll play the 8 and forget about the rest of them. Y'all should know that. Okay? He'll do it. That's what I'm saying, though. He's going to get that 9th guy, and that's going to be his rotation. That'll be it. And there ain't going to be no changes for 30 games. That's what he's going to do. And you ain't going to see these cats. You might see, Kolek might see garbage time, but mostly, it'll be smart to let him play in the G League. And did you hear what Thibodeau said about him yesterday? If you know Thibodeau, again, if you've been following the Knicks or the Thibodeau era, you should pick up on what he says when he says stuff. He said with rookies, the first thing they got to know is how to become a professional. That's why he don't play rookies. Okay, he don't play rookies. Okay, and some of y'all going to bring up Emmanuel quickly, and I'm going to say to you, you got the nerve to compare Emmanuel Quickly, who just got $175 million, to this guy, Tyler Kolek? Are you kidding me? That's what I would say to you. Emmanuel Quickly. Anyway, so that's the situation. So with this Landry Shamet, with Landry Shamet, hey, it's going to be interesting, but I think he'll be the 9th guy. I really do. It could be Cameron Payne, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting. That's going to be the camp battle. Landry Shamet and Cameron Payne. This is going to be that ninth guy in Thibs' 9-man rotation. We're getting ready to see what it is right now. We're getting ready to see what it is. No more Mook. Some say, well, maybe they could bring Mook back. You know, there's a possibility, right? That could happen. But I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. You know, right now, the Knicks really, you can bring 21 guys into camp. And I think they did that. And you still, you know, right now, our guy, Daquan Jeffries, who's been, you know, he's been a faithful, hardworking New York Knick. You know, even though he's played mostly G League. Him, Dwayne Washington, Charlie Brown, you know, these guys, they'll probably be part of this trade to make this money work. So you really got 16 guys right now. You got 16 guys. And that includes the 3 two-way guys. So you know, your Hooporty, McCullough, and Jacob Toppin are your two-way guys. So you really got 13 guys. So you do got room to add 2 more guys. So we'll see what happens. You know, they could add 2 more minimum contracts. So we'll see what happens. Right now, the way I'm looking at the second apron, right now, according to Spot Rack, the Knicks are about $3.6 million below the second apron right now. So I don't know if they will add another guy, even though they could. It's the money, you know, it's the money. So we'll have to see. You know, the bottom, you know, as far as salary, Jericho's $2 million, Cameron Payne is $2 million, which I thought he was 3, but they got him for $2 million. Tyler Kolek is $2 million. Pacome Dadier is 1.8, right? And then you got Hooporty, McCullough, and Jacob Toppin, and I don't know what they're paying them, maybe in the $1 million to $2 million range, but that's your bottom of your money right there. Deuce is at 4.7 million. And Precious Achua is at $6 million. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but right now, because of the $49 million they got to pay Karl Anthony Towns, that right now they get $3.5 million to work with in the second apron. They're gonna be paying taxes. Right now they got them estimated at paying $27 million in taxes, which is not bad, especially for a team budding for a championship. Like I said, when you get ready to get for the chip, that's when you pay the taxes and swallow that bullet, and you go ahead and try to get this chip. That's what the Knicks are right now. But I'm favoring Shamet for that ninth spot. But we'll see. You know, I could be wrong, but we'll see. I'm favoring Shamet for that ninth spot. But we're going to see. Anyway, y'all enjoy October 1st, Tuesday. Here we are in autumn. Enjoy it. Congratulations to the New York Mets. They in the wild card, all right? Congratulations to the Mets. Y'all keep going. Enjoy. Be safe. Shalom.